Showtime!
Don't hold me up now, I can stand my own ground. I don't need your help now, you won't let me down, down, down. Don't hold me up now, I can stand my own ground. I don't need your help now, you won't let me down, 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 down.
Right on, and we're off. This is Draco against Strelok, Game 2 on Othello, and let's see what we've got. Positions are Strelok up in the northeast corner at 1 o'clock. He'll be playing the Teal Terran. And down in the 5 o'clock position is Draco. So similar positions to last time, this time with Draco down south and Strelok up top, but they're both taking the same side again, so we'll have to see if Draco gets in that good scouting like last time.
Now these positions, I have to say they favor the Terran player. It's probably pretty much as close as you can get. It's not diagonally across the map, so Strelok's going to be able to do a very strong push just going directly south, picking up expansions on his way. In between his main and Draco's main, there is his natural, his third base, a couple mineral only, or rather one mineral only base, and he's going to be able to get right down to Draco pretty quickly.
Yeah, unlike the other map, Wuthering Heights, which is quite open, there's quite a bit of terrain in between. Draco again going for a really quick probe scout. I imagine the player who thinks he's better than his opponent will typically scout quickly like this to just play super safe, and I think that's what Draco's doing. Sending out this early probe, he's going to find Strelok. The only thing Draco really has going for him with these positions is that Strelok's cliff is actually close to Draco, whereas Draco's cliff is far away from Strelok. So if there was going to be a cliff battle, Strelok does have to go kind of around, but that's really the only thing that Draco can be thankful for in these positions.
We see now again with the lucky scouting by Draco, he has his probe inside the Terran base before the barracks has started, forcing Strelok to take SCV off building, and he's running the probe around and harassing. Those shields are regenerating while the SCVs aren't, so just causing general headaches. It's just a lot more stressful in the early game if you've got to deal with these fast scouts. In addition, you feel really bad if you have to chase a probe with an SCV and send another SCV out to scout. You feel like you're falling behind. So that's what Strelok is going to have to do here. Looking down in the Protoss base, gas is finished for Draco, but the core hasn't started yet. He's decided to go for a Zealot because of his fortunate scouting right away. And again, you see two SCVs trying to chase down that probe. One building and one scouting. So really for Strelok, he'll be fortunate that this SCV is scouting in the right direction.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to see that Zealot, and that's going to tell him, you know what, take some guys off gas, get some Marines, and you're going to have to micro. Now, is he going to pull SCVs to the ramp to block the Zealot? I think he should, otherwise it's going to get a little bit messy with the Zealot just chasing him around. He's going to have to rely on a little bit of lucky micro, and here he goes, bringing SCVs down to the ramp, but one is injured. He should be repairing that right away, and that Zealot's going to pick that SCV off. And here it goes. It goes right up. It sees the wall, but it does not attack. There he goes. Wrong SCV, Draco. Come on, attack the other SCV. He's already hurt. A couple SCVs down in health. The Zealot taking some hits there. And it looks like Strelok is totally safe.
Why is he chasing that probe with two SCVs, though? That's poor play. At this point, he's got 6 SCVs, 7 SCVs not mining, including his scout, as the second Zealot coming up for Draco here.
Yeah, I was gonna say by sending that one Zealot, he's actually Draco has actually affected Strelok's economy worse than his own. I mean, Strelok, those SCVs are still sitting there. There's still Marines making. He's just, Strelok loves playing the long-term macro style. That's just really not going to pay off given his low economy start.
Yeah, you can see the pressure affecting Strelok here. I mean, this isn't his normal play. He's got an SCV inside the main. As you said, a lot are not mining. He's got too many on the ramp for how many Marines he has. He just looks to me to be, falling apart a little bit. This is probably one of the highest pressure matches he's ever played, and probably against the best player, in a high pressure match that he could possibly face in the foreigner scene, which is, of course, the ex-pro gamer Draco. So we see Strelok right now, he's going for the FD Terran build, but the probe runs right around, gets out of there, and Strelok goes to chase with a few Marines.
Just for those of you who don't know, that big chunk of minerals, you can't mine from that, but only small units can get in behind there, so chasing with a tank isn't going to work because the tank is too fat to fit. So we look down inside the Protoss base, we've got Draco just about finishing range, and he's already got a Templar Archives warping in. So he's going for pressure, pressure, and more pressure. Neither player has expanded yet, although we're going to see Strelok move out here. I imagine as he's laying mines and moving out with his tank and Marines that he will expand behind this initial push. We have three Dragoons now and 2 Zealots for Draco. He's going to try to hold off any attack from Strelok. You see him taking out that Vulture right away, preventing that from getting deep inside his territory, and you see the 6 Marines and 1 tank having to retreat in front of this, modest Protoss force. But all this is just buying time for Draco as the first 2 Dark Templars are warping in.
Now this looks like an excellent opening here. You wouldn't think that a Dark Templar opening is good against FD Terran because of all the mines, but I assure you it is. Look at this. He has 2 Zealots to drag mines, 3 Dragoons to sacrifice if he really feels like an I-Cup Protoss. And look, as you see, he's just running the Zealot through, looking for any mines. So it's going to be really hard here. Strelok, as we see in his main, has gone for the Terran Academy. He is not getting an eBay, so he's just pumping Vultures now. He's going to have a little bit of luck to hold off these DTs. I'm sure that Draco's just going to stream them through, and it's just going to be a really rough game. There you go. No mines left at the natural, only 1 or 2 on the ramp. DTs are starting to stream out while Draco takes his expansion. So right now it looks like he will contain Strelok and gain the early lead again.
This is going to be really close. I don't know if Draco's going to move in or if he's just going to put up a contain. Looks like he's moving the Dark Templar. It's stopping outside of the natural. It would be interesting. I mean, we see no eBay from Strelok still. He's only working on 1 scanner, and he's got a few mines on his ramp. I think Draco really could press in and just dodge the scans. It looks like he's playing a little safer, trying to defend this Vulture harass at his natural. That DT is just chopping mines down left and right, and Strelok actually is forced to completely retreat with those Vultures. So Draco just flawless opening game in my mind.
Yeah, excellent micro buy. You saw how he blocked the ramp with the Dark Templar and used the other Dark Templar to destroy mines before they could get buried underground. He Maynards his probes over to his natural expansion. Strelok working on a command center inside his main. And you see now Strelok trying to push out with a few Vultures and a tank, but it's not working out so well. 1 mine kills the Dark Templar up by his main base. Draco's only got 2 goons there, so he's going to have to run back. Strelok still moving Vultures around counterclockwise around the map, and it's going well for him as he Vulture raids inside Draco's natural expansion. He catches a couple probes, but he's unable to lay mines, which is really crucial because you want to drag the mines into the probes. A little bit lucky there for Draco with a little bit of good micro in between. So Strelok throwing his Vultures down the map, trying to apply some counter pressure here, but he's got 2 injured Vultures. The only benefit for him is Draco has no robotics facility at all yet. So this will be key. If he can keep the mine count up in the map, it'll bleed Draco quite a bit as he tries to move about.
Yeah, but now we see that Draco is getting that robo facility. He is warping the observatory. So once he gets those observers out, it's going to become even harder here for poor Strelok. Right now, Draco almost 10 supply up already, and most of Strelok's army right now is Vultures, and we see him try to run them in there to the Protoss base, but just no-go. 2 Dark Templars and 6 Dragoons or so there. So really, there's no damage he can do right now. He's very low on units that are good against range goons with obs, which is what Draco is about to have. So really, Draco is looking to be in just a perfect situation for going way ahead in the mid game.
Yeah, I think this is every Terran player's nightmare. I think Strelok opened really well. He just unfortunately misplayed it a little. He had the scanners, he had the mines, but Draco just did really well through the early game just with micro, taking him down. He's now just working on his macro, throwing up tons of gateways, pumping units. I imagine once he clears these mines, he'll be taking a 3rd base and just look to basically compound his lead going into the mid game.
Well, both players do have their expansions up and running. Strelok finally managing to float his command center over. He's not finished siege yet, although he will be by the time Draco gets anywhere, so not too much of an issue. As we can see, Strelok repairing some of his units, just trying to consolidate where he is now as he puts up his 4th factory. Only 1 machine shop, however, as you see Chill's prediction right, Draco taking his mineral-only expansion down at about 630. And again, 4 gateways for Draco. Observers are out, just starting leg speed now as well. Strelok's going to have to be a little bit better with his vultures as you see them over on the east side of the map getting scouted by an observer. He needs to be a little bit more effective with keeping mines down, using up all the mines inside of his vultures, and hoping that Draco runs through them a little bit. Here comes a Terran push down the right side of the map, 4 tanks, 8 vultures, 1 SCV. He's going to try to set up position here. He sieges down, but Draco's in a great position with eastern and a southern attack coming in. Looks like oh wow, great mine drag by the DTs. 2 DTs take out almost entire force of Strelok. Draco loses 1 Dragoon, taking out the entire Terran army. An amazing mine grab there by Draco. This is devastating for Strelok.
Yeah, Strelok has himself in a position that he does not want to be in. We see that he's now added a 5th factory in his home. Draco walking up the map. He's going to contain poor Strelok with his 2 lonely siege tanks. And, I mean, I can't see Strelok coming back from this. It's Draco right now, his 3rd Nexus just finished, sending probes there right now. And, you know, he doesn't have an army. He's very behind in supply, 56 to 94 right now. And Draco knows it. Look at this. He's already going for the kill, it looks like. It looks like a little bulldog attack. Couple zealots coming out of the shuttle, dragging some mines over, killing these siege tanks, and now Strelok has to be feeling bad. I mean, he is in a horrible position. If he lives through this, I mean, he's a good player. Killing SCVs at the natural, and you can see Strelok just shaking his E-head right there. Red ears, tears in his eyes. This is not looking good. It looks like Strelok is going to be eliminated from the Razer TSL.
Yeah, just really unfortunate. Leg speed is done. We got Dragoons streaming in left and right. We've got Draco pushing 100 supply. Strelok forced to lift his natural. I mean, all but over. He's putting up a fight to the end. I mean, who wouldn't in a tournament like this? But unfortunately, it looks like his days are numbered in this event.
The one bright side for Strelok is he did manage to flush away the probes from Draco's 2nd expansion with a couple rogue vultures. He's had to lift his expansion. He's got to fortify back in his main base. He's low on cash, but he can still mine for a while. He's got about 25% of his original main left. So, well, his problem, however, is that Draco is going to be able to expand at will, and there'll be nothing that he can do about it.
You
see Draco completely
really Strelok is just going to be so far behind.
containing
You
with
see
Terran
right
player
now
here
that
as he tries
Draco's
to push
pumping
down
out
the
High
map.
Templars at home, so he's going to have just a ton of side storm. And when he tries to bust out as he is now, I mean, he's going to be able to take his expansion. Sure, he's going to be able to mine for a little bit, but when he comes out with a big clump of units, there's going to be a lot of side storm all over the place. So basically, Draco right now forcing him into slow push mode, and with slow push mode being this far behind. Oh, that is just not good. Now we see a shuttle coming in. Looks like he's going to do some Zealot bombs. Takes out 1 siege tank with a Zealot. Nice move right there. Everything hurts very badly for poor Strelok. And trying to bomb the SCVs hurt the economy even more. Not really working out for him, though.
That was low, trying to bomb the SCVs. I mean, clearly the tank's a bigger target, but I mean, at this point, he's so far ahead, it was worth it to try to damage the economy of Strelok even more. Got some more mines in here at the 2nd natural, the 6 o'clock, forcing the probes back. Draco comes back. Oh, a mine goes off, killing tons of probes. Good God. More Dragoons going down. Strelok is trying to claw his way back in here with these vultures. Wow.
That was ridiculous. At least half the probes from that expansion got popped by either the mine or the vultures. So Strelok doing what he can with his limited army. Draco needing to take a little bit of a breath here, get his observers back in order, and match them up with his Dragoon so he's not suiciding his army about. You know, if you give this war machine even an a sliver of an opening, he will take it, and he is now pushing out of his main base. He's got 6 tanks and a group of vultures. We'll have to see if he decides whether to go to the strong Protoss main or try to keep attacking that expansion. There you see his vultures leading the way. He needs to back up those vultures and pair them up with the rest of his army.
Yeah, he does need to pair them up. He needs to keep his units together. He needs to use them perfectly if he wants to do any damage here. Because right now, Draco has 50% more supply. And I mean, that is big. Right now, Strelok just under 100. Draco right up around 150. And Draco, I mean, he has High Templars, he has Speed Zealots, DTs, Dragoons. And Strelok is just holding on for dear life. He knows he's got to get something to happen right now, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's having a good amount of siege tanks rallying down to his forces. What he's going to need is for Draco to really mess up here. Draco's going to have to run into some mines, really control poorly during battles. That is how Strelok is going to come back. He knows that's how. He's been in this position enough times against dirty Protosses, and that is what he's looking for. Hopefully Draco will oblige him.
Unfortunately for Strelok, he was so focused on his push that he didn't realize there was a storm drop at his natural expansion, which absolutely decimated his natural economy. So he's had to shove over some SCVs from his main into his natural, and he's making his last final push towards the 6 o'clock second expansion. Massive tanks. Now he's keeping his vultures in amongst his tanks to defend against those zealots. And Draco, wow, pushing his army through a tiny little choke. Fortunately, he's backed by Storm, but still, this could be a suicide move from Draco. There's so little room to maneuver.
Yeah, that was a sloppy attack. Draco pushing right through that little tiny hole and losing his army. Wow, that is exactly what needed to happen for Strelok. He says, okay, kill some SCVs. I don't care. My main is almost gone anyway, but I'm killing your third. And that is just big for him. This is exactly the type of play that he needs to do if he wants to get back into this game.
And he has to be careful, though. There is another shuttle up at his natural expansion. There go 2, 3 Templars down. Everything getting stormed. Oh, the SCVs got blocked in by the vultures, and all but 2 SCVs die. Strelok's got nothing left. Oh, sick move by Draco. He can suicide armies all he wants as he loses his second expansion because Strelok has nothing left.
Yeah, Strelok's economy is just dead as can be. I mean, he is not hardly mining anything. But, you know, he does have a lot of units still, so, you know, maybe he can make something happen. Draco, on the other hand, his main is gone, his natural mining, full capacity, taking a third. But the third is the one that's really easy to attack. He's not retaking, you know, that mineral only. So, I mean, Strelok, he still has a chance. If he can get Draco to suicide another couple times, then, you know, he could do something. We see that Strelok just went over to the left side of the map, killed that natural that really wasn't mining yet. So that's another good move there by Strelok.
I really wish Strelok would do something about these Templar. This could really have been a close game had these storm drops been dealt with. He's lost, who even knows, maybe 24 SCVs to these 3 Templar. All it would take is a turret or 2 up there. Finally they're getting dealt with an EB and a tank. But I mean, at this point he's lost so many SCVs. That's basically the tail of the game. I don't think anyone could come back from this position. He's only at 73 supply, whereas Draco's pushing 150.
The one thing about Draco, though, is that by losing that second expansion, he's been reduced to a single mining expansion. He's had to wait for 2 more Nexi to warp in. So his economy is kind of flatlined in the last 2 or 3 minutes or so. Again, Strelok having to deal with those storm drops and finally doing that with the tanks and the floating eBay to get vision. But if he's going to push out, he has to push out right now, because if he waits another 3 minutes, those other 2 expansions are going to kick into gear and it'll be all over. So it's now or never basically for the Ukrainian Terran player.
You know, that is so true, but oh, look at this. He's floating command center down, he's taking his third base, and it looks like he's turtling up. You know, this is sad. I mean, we see the whole map. We see that, you know, if he does not attack right now before Draco gets on this 3-base economy, you know, he's just going to be steamrolled, and he is just sitting there turtling up. So this is looking really bad for him. And meanwhile, Draco, he has got 2 more Nexus warped in. He's taking 6 again, so his economy is just going to get totally killer, and it is going to just be impossible for Strelok to come back from this.
You know, in retrospect, it looks like Strelok played this backwards. He was really aggressive in the early game, but now he's going into turtle mode. I think he should have done that backwards. You know, it's really easy to take a third expansion as Terran. Turtle, slow push towards your Protoss third base, and then get really aggressive, forego taking a fourth base. By doing it backwards, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And we see again High Templar and Zealot coming into bomb. Strelok forced to unsiege everything to avert that, and that just means that Draco is going to move in. Here he comes flanking from both sides. He's still got the shuttle. He's going to be bombing, and Psystorm is going to be coming out of there, I guarantee. Here comes the High Templar. Gets picked off, unfortunately. There goes the Storm. Tanks getting taken out. Tanks getting taken out left and right, and Draco's just crushing in from both sides.
This looks like the end for Ukrainian Protoss. Draco playing this game very well, very strong opening. Suffered a little bit in the middle by losing a couple armies, but now he's just mopping up the rest of the Terran game. So that third expansion for Strelok is going down. He's got no army remaining. His factories, many of his factories are idle, and as you see, streams of zealots running up as Strelok punches good game. So our first matchup turns into 2-0 for Draco, and he will move on to the quarterfinal TSL. Tail of the tape, Draco with 110,000 compared to 82,000 for Strelok, and again, real key for Draco. If you look at the units killed, 188 units killed to 113 lost, you know, almost a 2-to-1 ratio. Really, really dominating play, and it all stemmed from his opening build.
Yeah, Draco showed a lot of speed in those two games. I mean, he played extremely well. There were no real big flaws, and you know, it's just he played very well. Looks like he's in good shape.
Yeah, I think Strelok had a few missteps, but that takes nothing away from Draco. He showed basically no holes, as you say, and he's going to be really scary in the round of 8.
Well, it's funny, during the latter stage, we didn't know if Draco was going to play because he has been inactive for a little while, but, you know, there's different kinds of Brood War players. Some Brood War players have to play constantly to keep their skill up, while others, it's more like riding a bike. They can pick it up, and he just came out of nowhere in the latter stage to take one of the top ranks. So, you know, really strong play by him, and he looks like he's in good shape.